Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the PSGL PS Season 31 for the F3 Division. Round number 1 at Austria. I'm your commentator, Iron Neon, or as known as Jared Fosbury, joined in the booth by the OAP himself, Mr. Sondra Sohaug. How you doing, Sondra?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And what about you, Jared?
I'm doing very well, especially really happy to be promoted as F3 commentator this season. You know, we were F4 a while back.
Indeed, indeed. Now, before we go too much into the drivers are already starting on their lap. So do you want me to go over the first lap with Shizu Noah?
By all means.
Well, in that case, then we can see him going through turn 1, choosing to not take any of the inside curve there, taking a bit of the outside though, before it's now heading down into turn 3. Braking, using a lot of the outside curb, gets in nicely, seems to be getting the traction down pretty well on the exit before heading down to this right-hander. That is turn 4, braking down into 3rd, shorting up to 4th, gets traction, uses a lot of curb, then into turn 5, you can see him not hitting the apex perfectly there. Before then heading into turn 6 and 7 now. Then just 2 more corners, as we can see him going into the second to last corner. Gets around nicely, then out of the final corner towards the line, and our first time is going to be a 1:04.7.
A 1:04.7 indeed, but
quickly beaten.
A 1:04.6, I believe. What's that, Marlon? First in the Mercedes, not a bad time, 4.6. Obviously, I'm expecting times to be improved. As the other McLaren, here she goes, 3rd place with a 1:05.1, maybe not the quickest there, as we see a Haas going slowly. Is that Mr. Cameron Young? It is Cameron Young.
It is indeed.
He's round as, what a lap, 4.6.73, 2,000th of a second there improvement from the Aston.
From my fellow Norwegian there.
As on board with Edward right now, coming out of turn 1, nice and tidy on the exit, as we have the others, sets 1, 2 and 3. As Edward now coming up, the long straight, approaching the hairpin corner. Nice and tidy, keeps the car under control, decent X there from Edward. Also the blocks, it's Shane, Jesus, a 4.531. Not a bad lap there at the moment.
Shane improving on his performance from last season in F4?
Definitely. I believe he was also one of the contenders at one point last season in the F4 tier.
He was indeed.
Although Edward right now approaching the second sector, it's a 45 flat in the second sector. Is he going to do what Cameron did and spin it? Nope, keeps it under control as the Aston and the Red Bull not that far behind. That's going to be the final 2 corners. Avoids the curb, hits the X curb, nice and tidy, DRS open, and that's going to be a 1:04.86 currently. Not a bad lap for him. I expect him to improve quite easily, but I think he's over on the fraud.
His teammate Toxic Tomato is heading into the second last corner in his house, managing not invalidate, then out of the final corner manages to use as much as possible, and it's going to be a 5 flat.
5 flat indeed. There's
a disappointing in that lap. I assume he would be. I think he's aiming a bit higher.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely aiming a bit higher than that. As the AlphaTauri of Zane, or I believe used to be OP Zane in the F4 tier a while back. It's just me and Felix commentating. He's doing 9.3 in the AlphaTauri at the moment, currently in 14th. I believe he's on another time lap here, Sondre. He's just entering Sector 1. He's 500 up on his time. Oh, and he goes round. And that's not the best place to park the car.
Well, in that case, Dustin Vincent has just started his first lap of the day in his Ferrari. He's gone through turn 1 and turn 2 now. Heading into turn 3. A little bit of a lock up there, but let's see then. Out of turn 3, seems to get the traction down. Now heading down towards turn 4, taking a lot of this outside curb. Hits the apex, takes a lot of curb there actually. Then into turn 5, this very quick left-hander stays tight to the apex. Then on the way to turn 6 and 7, it shows purple. Not sure if we can believe that. It is Codemaster still. And into the second to last corner, gets a nice run. Final corner, can he beat Shane with a 4.5? And it's a 5.2, so a bit off there.
Yeah, 13th there with the 5.2. Isn't the best time lap, but obviously it's their first laps and it's the first round, so you can't be too disappointed. They're in very high tier, but they've got second, 3 attempts to go for end of qual. We have 11 minutes off the session. Is anyone else on the lap?
Now the Merc off the the VI arm. I'm just gonna say Marion is going through the second sector. It was a bit down on his time in the first sector, but let's see then. 200 up on his time in the second sector. Then let's see, can he find any time in this final sector? Only 2 corners to go before. Oh, and way too wide and straight into the pit.
Well, that's a very cheeky little pit entry.
Not exactly legal, but it's quality at least, so I'm not sure how hard they're gonna strike down on it then. As my fellow Norwegian is currently on the lap as well, also 200s up on his time. Heading into the final 2 corners, can he manage to stay within the lines then? Oh, he cannot.
He's going to be annoyed at
tricky
himself.
Corner there.
It is. You've got to be very careful how you take it. Sometimes it can spit you out, sometimes it just invalidates you. But you can't be too disappointed. He's currently in 3rd, so... Oh, scratch that, he's now 4th. FCR Ferenc in the Red Bull moves to 2nd.
Power Shane though, he's out on track as well, and if I saw correctly, he's a tiny bit up on his time in Sector 1, so...
Yeah, I'm going to have to cut you off. Lewis right now though, end of Sector 3, is apparently purple, coming around the final corner. Is he going to improve his time? And it's going to be 3rd place with a 1.4.648. Not a bad lap.
Bottle himself. Now let's see them.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Cameron has somehow done the impossible.
Shane though over the line, and look at that lap. A 4.4, Jared.
That's mad.
Blistering lap from Shane there.
Yeah, that's weird. Cameron's AI just started messing about. Zane's on a lap right now, but yeah, what a lap indeed. 4.4, 2 tenths quicker than the Red Bull, so times are improving. But Cameron, or Toxic Smart, is, I think, what, going to be the first one this season in PSGL to be disqualified in quality.
I believe TRD Alex is going into the pit.
Oh, that's good. What about Zane not? Oh, Zane yet again!
He was on a good lap, wasn't he?
He was 2 tenths up apparently in Sector 1, so it's going to be a kick in the teeth, especially with a 9.3 of the time. He needs to improve. He's not going to be last, obviously, since a certain individual DSQ'd himself, but still not going to help.
Marco Matera should be on a lap, if I'm not wrong, heading into turn 4 currently. I know that Lickle Blocks right behind him is also on a lap, but Jared, if you want to follow him.
Yep, sure. Where is he?
In the meantime, Marco Matera then going into turn 5, a little bit wide on entry, might have gotten through there nicely still. Still 1.5 tenth up, so he should be on for an improvement unless he messes up in one of these last 2 corners now. Second last corner, manages to keep it within track limits. Out of the final corner, is it going to be an improvement? It's going to be a 4.8, 1.5 tenths.
That's not bad then, as Edward did invalidate, so his time won't count. The guy behind him was teed up. He isn't on the lap anymore. On the board with a Ferrari though of Dustin. Currently 16th with 5.2. Let's see what his second sector is. It's 4.5 tenths improvement. That's a lot of time to find. Let's see what he can do then in the final sector. As he is approaching a slow corphead that's an AlphaTauri. Hopefully he doesn't get affected by him. Oh, very close there for spinning the car, but the Ferrari moves into 12th for 4.812.
Zane is about to cross the finish line now as well. He is up on his time, and it's a 5.1, and it's at least representative this time.
Yeah, it might not have got him a lot of positions, but he's in 16th, and there's still plenty of time to improve. Ooh, like Williams was a bit close there. That was Jax.
Ooh, the McLaren of Hershey is up in the first sector, says he's purple. Obviously that's not always correct, but he is among the front there, so it could be correct in this case. As he goes out of turn 4 in towards turn 5, there is a yellow flag, so there could be some traffic for him here though. And at the second sector split, 1.5 tenths up, he could be on for pole if he manages to find some more time here, Jared. Second last corner then. Nice and tidy, manages to keep it within track limits, then out of the final corner, looks very good through there, and it's going to be a 104.416.
Look how close the top 3 are. Remember this back in the F4 days, when we knew commentating. Now it's coming to F3, it looks like.
It's almost impossible to predict who was going to take pole. However, Ferenc now, he's heading into the final 2 corners. He is also up on his time, not by as much I think, but he could steal 4th away from TNR Volakongen. Oh, invalidation though. but
Lewis Curtis coming around the final corner moves to 3rd place. We've got a match time for 3rd, a 1:4.490. And where has WR Lewis been last season? Barely scoring any points in F3 last season, and right now he's looking for 3rd place in the qualifying.
Indeed,
different
he's
Lewis.
looking like one of the quicker ones right now. Shane once again, 11 thousandths down on his time. Could improve on his time if he manages to get some time in these last 2 corners. But he goes into the pit, so scratch that.
Jax moves to 16th with a 4.858. We only have one driver now in the 1 minute 5s, and that is Zane. So will he be going out again? We have 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining this session. As Edwards is 17th.
Currently up on his time. 2 more corners. Bit cautious into the second last corner there, but let's see then. Out of the final corner, gets the traction down nicely, and oh, look at that big improvement.
Yeah, it's more representative time from Edwards in 6th position, 1:4.5. Not a bad time, but I believe he could improve if he quickly goes into the pits. But yet again, sort of look how close this grid is. You could literally cover a blanket over all these guys. It's very close.
Well, I'm just saying P3 and P4 right now. Tied on time. It's literally less than thousands separating them right now. It's that little, we can't even see how much it is.
Yeah.
However though, I was gonna say Marco Matera, but I think his time
he isn't
was
still
ruined
there.
Nah, he's not. He's into the pit.
Well, Dustin will be next then. If you want to go on board with Dustin. Oh, no, he's in the pits. McLaren of
Liquid is on an in lap. It's gonna be Hirsch. No, it's gonna be no, wait.
Okay, what's happening here?
Med.
Yep.
What a gamer tag, man. This is the next guy we're gonna watch. Medium TC, pretty much.
It's gotta be your new favourite driver, right?
he's getting up there, Jared. Like, what a gamer tag, especially in a tier where there is not even any line. But let's see that. he's gonna take on to his final lap of the day, at least most likely. Now going up towards turn 1, braking, going down into 4th, staying in 4th, and out of the corner, looking very steady there, and heading down towards the hairpin in turn 3, looking very good, down into 2nd gear, short shifts up to 3rd. Looked steady on traction, but looked a little cautious as well. However, DRS is applied and down into turn 4, misses the apex a tiny bit, but he gets a nice exit still. Then into turn 5, who's gonna lead into turn 6? Let's see, he is up on his time, not by much, but a little. Around turn 7, and it could be some traffic here. However, the McLaren gets out of the way, the second to last corner, and into the final corner. And Med TC, what is it gonna be? A 1:04.598.
Well, to be only a couple hundredths up in the second sector, then to almost be a 10 extra in the sector 3 defined, it's not a bad lap. He's going to be happy at that, at least. P7, that is his time over though, and I believe though, Sondre, the person who was behind him on a lap, Hershey, messed up his lap. He did spin it, and yes he did. So he's going for
he'll be starting a lap right now then.
Well, we'll go on board with him. In the McLaren then, currently in 2nd. Will he be trying to go for pole? Will he get pole? Let's wait and see then. As he's coming down the long straight, his times will be improving on the board as well from behind. Currently down in sector 1 by a couple of hundredths. Oh, rear is kicking out. Power down at the 2nd straight, where we're going to see a lot of overtaking. There's Lewis
Curtis, 1:04.385, provisional pole.
Well, she's got a lot to answer right now then in the McLaren. Has he got what it takes? Noah in the 2nd, a 1:44, one of the F4 contenders last season. Not a bad time. So the McLarens are looking very strong at Austria at the moment, currently 2nd and 4th. Will Hirsch keep it going? It looks like he's going to be pitting, and yes he is. He's in the pits.
I am following TF Shane at the moment. He's currently 300s up on his time. Could be enough if he...
Oh! Massive spin from Benza there in the final corner.
How is that not of an invalidation?
Okay, that might be looked into there. He's taken pole with a 4.381, but he completely exceeded.
Very good lap, but a little controversial at the end there.
Is anybody on a lap? Nope, that is it.
Tito is not.
So here's your man on pole then. It's Shane, but very, as Sandra said, very controversial.
Well, maybe not very, but a little controversial. There was a bit of a track extend in the final corner, but
I think we should have a reverse grid start, Sandra.
Getting that toxic tomato on pole, is that what you're aiming at, or?
No, I need him to do well this season.
Interesting.
He needs to do well this season. He's my man to win the championship.
Oh, dishing out championship contenders already, are we?
Yeah, you know. First one to get disqualified in PSGL the first round, the first one.
Well, you know.
Then. Here is our qualifying order then. We have Shane then, who takes pole by 4,000 of a second over Mr. W.R. Lewis or Lewis Curtis. Noah then, who was in the F40 last season, 3rd. The other McLaren of Hershey in 4th. So the McLarens are on form. Edward or Liquorblocks in 5th. Tito in 6th. The fellow Norwegian TNR, how do you say his PSN name?
Volakongen.
Yeah, Volakongen in 7th. Med TC in 8th. FER Ferenc in 9th. Zane in 10th. Marlon in 11th. Mali 12th. Alex Mad 13th. VIR 83 in 14th. Benza in 15th. Dustin in 16th. And we'll go for the rest of the grid on the formation lap. What a
And in the
qualifying.
meantime, I guess we'll take the time to, for any of the viewers who might be interested, then PSGL is currently sponsored by GT Omega this season. They're leading manufacturers of gaming peripherals, from gaming chairs to sim cockpits. So if you're looking to change out that old dusty pad, then never know, it could be your place to check out. And obviously, if you use PSGL at checkout, then you'll get 5% off all their GT Omega products.
Well, I think Matthew Alder definitely needs to invest in that Sundra. As
I think he got a good enough setup at the moment, but you never know. Could be.
Well, the
Now,
race looks very cloudy.
while we're still waiting, though, indeed, very cloudy. I was gonna mention that as well, but championship contenders already dishing those out, are we, Jared?
All seriously, I'm gonna go with Lewis. I think he'll be up there for it, if we're being serious.
I'll Lewis Curtis. That's a bit of a risky one, you know. Known bottler, one of the bigger ones as well.
Yeah.
However, on pace, probably one of the better shouts, but I think we're gonna have to look out for Noah and Shane once again. They both look very quick. Oh no, nice to note Jared on the grid right now. 3 medium runners, Hershey in 4th, Dustin in 16th, and Marco in 17th. Everybody else is on hards.
Yeah, definitely. And Marco, who did round off the back of the grid, 17th, with Jax 18th, and Small obviously getting DSQ'd in the qualifying session, rounds up in 19th. But Sondre, your race prediction, who do you think is going to win it?
Oh, it's terrible to say considering Mr. Lewis in second there has been one of my teammates before in other leagues, but I don't think he's gonna edge into it. I think we're looking at Noah in first, Shane in second, and I'm gonna go with Lickle to get up onto the podium in third. You know, all that experience got to be worth something.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. I'm completely agreeing with you on that. Actually, to be honest, I think, Lewis, he'll bottle it. Somehow either spin it through turn 1 or end up in a crash later on in the race. But the drivers are finally... Nope, Lewis has already been DSQ'd from the formation lap because he messed up it by parking a bit too late. So he's already done the bottling already. But we're ready to get started. Shane then getting his car parked a bit towards turn 1 there, a bit out of his box. But as usual,
it looks like the driver's got it perfect.
Let's see then. Well, as usual, you at the back of the grid at the start. Let's go to 5 red lights for the F3 tier. Round number 1, and we're underway then. And it looks like Shane's had a cracker of a start. Lewis trying to get in there. The McLaren's quite equal in the starters. Look at the Haas there getting swallowed there by the Haas at Simon. And after all, there's contact in the background, it looks like there. And that's a McLaren off.
That is Hershey.
Oh, and
very unlucky for him.
Oh, Lewis under attack already into turn 2.
Oh my god! What is happening at the back, man?
There's been another crash. I missed all this action already.
That was Jesus Sane was involved in that. I think they were 4, almost 5 wide at some point. So it was very difficult to see what actually happened. But yeah.
Oh my god! There's a Merc missing a full front wing.
Toxic Tomato getting very feisty in the braking zone into turn 4 there.
Yeah, well, T3, he's got a pit, no front wing already, and it's only been lap 1.
Not a good start for one of the Merc drivers. Oh, the other Merc driver I feel like started
yellows again.
Oh.
Benza drops it, and well, there's a lot of action going on already, and I'm trying to keep on board. There's one board with Lewis, who did lose the position. He's currently in 3rd, now in the 2nd.
Shocker. We know his starts, Jared.
Yeah, well, especially
he didn't go further down.
Yeah, especially when he messed up the formation lap, it's not going to help. But we can see a Merc in the background. Edward in a bit of trouble. Has he got some damage to the car possibly? Because all he's doing right now is just dropping places. As
Marco
very close.
down inside. O'Malley into turn 3. Doesn't get the traction on the exit though, or does he? Now on the outside into turn 4. He's gonna have to stick it around the outside, and on those mediums he's gonna manage to get that move done.
Well, there's nowhere it says it means a Tez. I will try and remember that. Thank you very much. A Tez then. Not a problem, no. Thank you for letting me know, but I think it's not to get back to the race then, as somebody was running about Marco there, making an awesome move. There's a Red Bull though of Mali going into the pits, so he must have some damage. Shane, new fastest lap. Nobody else has beaten that as of yet. Crash that, and Marco's just beating it with a 7.9. Not Hirsch just beat it, 7.8.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Hershey looked quick for the second half of that lap, and considering he's had that spin, he's not too far off the people in front of him.
We're on board with Edward right now, as he's trying to re-catch up on Marlon, as I will call him. Currently in 7th, the Merc has had a cracker stop, but I'm sorry, Sandra, Lickle, one of our predictions to be on the podium, he's had probably the worst start of them all.
This isn't a sprint race, man. There's still 33 laps to go.
That's true, but usually to do well in races you need a great start, and right now hasn't been. But as he said, wait and see. Oh, but hang on a minute, there is yellows. That is a McLaren. It's Noah, and no damage to the car. I think he just spun it, and somehow Lewis Curtis is still on the track, Sandra. He hasn't spun it yet.
Well, once again, there's a lot of laps left. Don't say that too early. But Noah though makes a mistake in turn 1. Dustin gets by easily. Obviously, Dustin on those medium tires though. He kind of have to try and make the most out of them now when they're fresh. But it's like he's gonna have a tough time overtaking here.
Well, Etis has done a 1.7.1 then, as he's on fresh mediums. Probably going to be on the 2-stop now as well, so he's going to have to pray for a safety car maybe late in this race to help his chances to score some points. But I got to say, Sandra,
WR Lewis struggling to keep in that DRS right now.
Oh, definitely. But Tito and Shane, F4 drivers, being promoted to F3, wasn't really expecting this pace from them off the bat, and right now they're currently 1st and 3rd.
Indeed, doing a very good race so far, and can't forget about Noah either. He was up there, you know, but unluckily for him, he's managed to spin it though. So these drivers showing that it was not by coincidence they were fighting for the championship last season.
Oh, here's Noah making me on the Ferrari. Dustin is defending. Noah around the outside, trying to keep his car there. Gives him enough space, but can't make it work. See if he's going to wait for no lap, but he's going to dive bomb it as the Williams is now attacking the Aston. Jax moving to 12th. Oh, very close.
Oh, but look at Marco though around the outside. But now though, Jax around the outside into turn 5. They give each other the space they need.
Very
close.
Look
at that move.
Brilliant move there. Cameron is just probably eating a lot of popcorn there while those two are fighting.
He's getting a front row view of this battle right now.
Definitely. Lewis those picks up the pace a tiny bit now. Almost out of DRS range from Tito.
Oh, and Marco spins it out of the final corner.
Oh, that is a shame that, as he now drops all the way down to 16th. Oh, no, scratch that. He's round again. Into turn 1. His rear is just completely locked up. He needs to cool off his tyres ASAP because they're just going to be a death trap. As Alex and Dustin scrapping away. Look at this fight for 9th. The McLaren going for the Ferrari. On the inside, is it going to end in
Ferrari
tears?
Very deep, still side by side.
Awesome overtake there from Noah. Both drivers there gaining in position. Noah gaining 2, Dustin gaining 1. Alex dropping 2.
Still early. Everything can still change. But great from those 2 drivers. Look at Dustin, still right on the back of Noah.
Yeah, he is actually. I will give him credit for that. He's keeping up. He wasn't really happy that the F1 Codemasters game update. He wasn't happy with the update. But he's showing some pace. Keeping up with one of the F4 contenders last season, who's possibly a contender this season in F3. And he's currently in 10th.
Indeed. Oh, wow.
Oh, yellows.
Oh, no, that is yeah, that is Marco. He's retired in the pit, so no crash, no safety car.
Unfortunately,
Toxic Tomato though on the back of Jax here into turn 4. Jax driving defensively here. Toxic Tomato getting a better run there, but not gonna have a much good enough run to get a move into turn 5, as Dustin is the first to pick up a time penalty.
I'm not surprised that he has been cutting a couple of corners, as we did see on the last lap there, but right now though, the action always on the Haas and Jax. I think Toxic's got a bit more experience under him. He's got more. He's won 2 F2 titles than Jax. But
Indeed.
has Cameron got it in him to overtake the Williams, or is he going to wait for the pit stops to come in place?
Not a great turn 1 by Toxic there. He's gonna have to try to make it into turn 4 then. However, look at this though, all the speed going into turn 3. Can he get a good exit out of turn 3 though? That's gonna be too far back to make anything out of it.
Yeah, it's too far back for now, as we're going to go on board with the Red Bull. He's now starting to close up on Tito. The gap was just 2 tenths, it's now back to 4. But a certain individual, Sondre, has completely backed off the pace. Shane is in a bit of trouble right now. Lewis and Tito have picked up the pace. Everybody else behind has picked up the pace, and they're now starting to close back up.
Well, you know, that is interesting to see, but it could be this new update that is catching him out a little as well, though. As probably most of these drivers know, before the update, it was pretty much best to run max tire pressures everywhere. But after the update, that is not necessarily a good thing, as you'll start to lose grip after a few laps then. And well, if Shane has been caught a little out, that could be what's happening here, because as you mentioned, Curtis here, right on the back now, managed to save up his ERS as well, so...
Oh, we just missed Cameron.
Interesting to see what happens.
Definitely, we just missed Toxic though, making a move on Jax there. Oh, scratch that, we've just seen him put it in the wall.
Exit on turn 4.
Yeah, and I have a weird feeling he's going to pit and retire.
He's certainly not going to be happy about it, but if you can hear us, Toxic, stay in the race. You're not lapped. There can always be a safety car, and you could always be back in it.
Definitely. Well, he's definitely going to pit. As the McLaren also have Hershey's in the pits as well, maybe for his second stop. A bit early, I think, on the mediums, but nothing really happening right now. A bit quiet.
Right now, everyone down until 11th is in this train for the lead. As the Red Bull of FVR Mali has retired.
Well, Cameron hasn't.
Tomato, though.
He's still going.
Stays in it.
That's what we need. Still plenty of chances for a safety car.
Indeed. Haven't even reached the first pit stop.
No.
Not even for the medium runners.
Oh, yellow's in sector 2. Is that him spinning again, or was that him slowing him down?
Toxic, who's struggled on cold tires out of the pit there.
Right now,
obviously, that is
live action right now. We can see a McLaren getting hungry. He's going for the move. Is he going to try a cheeky double overtake? Oh, almost hits the back end of the Haas there. But a good move nonetheless. Moves into 8th. But has he got it? The Alpine's still there. No, he's got it. Next target is Whipple in the Haas. Merck and Aston very close as well, Sondre. Your fellow Norwegian driver doing a very good job in the F3 tier.
Indeed, indeed. Very happy for him right now.
Maybe he could be one of the championship contenders.
Well,
oh, hang on. Tell you who's not one. Noah again makes a move and then just spins it. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself.
Struggling a bit in these fast corners, it looks like.
Oh, I think Benza went off as well, but he's back on the track. Yeah, a lot of people are struggling. Looks like maybe with either the setup with the update or something. It's just not right, touching the curbs.
Well, it could be, as I said, it's not just like the cars has gotten quicker or something either. It's
well, they got slower.
It's a little more complicated than that. The tires don't necessarily act the way they used to. You might not be able to run as high tire pressures places. Then traction has changed on the cars after it as well. So
Toxic gets a 3-second.
Obviously, setups have then changed. Then yeah.
Toxic spun it again. The final corner. Oh, Dustin picks up another pen.
It's a bleak day for the Haas
team.
team right now.
It can't be too bleak. They've got, obviously, Edward going to possibly score on points, but...
Obviously, yeah, but...
Oh, Marlon there, moving out at the top. Oh, Dustin out. Dustin's retired. So he's given up due to penalties, it looks like. He got an extra pen and that's it.
Well, at this point, you got pen, you are in a bit of a tricky situation with really nobody from... as legal... Did he just outbrake himself there, it looks like?
I didn't see it, unfortunately. I was on board with the Merc, but it looks like yes, on that.
Well, I was on board with him, but I was looking at the timing, so I didn't notice exactly what happened, but he might have missed the braking zone while defending.
Well, it's chucked him out of the DRS tour. This is going to be happy for Marlon now. He's got nobody behind him, so you can just relax a little bit more. But Slickle needs to get back into it.
We'll have to see. That is Toxic Tomato. Throwing in the towel. Done for the day. Gonna turn in for engineering duties for his teammate then, I guess.
His teammate's in a bit of trouble right now, though, Sondre. He's on 6% ERS. He's literally burnt it just to try and get back in this DRS range. It hasn't helped. And right now, he's under threat by Mr. MedTC. Oh, but there's a Merc round! And Marlon spins it round out of exit 1. And he drops all the way down in 9th. May lose a couple more positions. And that's not going to be good for him at all his tyres. But I'll tell you, it's... Oh, no, Edward, as Little's just spun it as well. A lot of... Oh, and he reset the track. Oh, he's been resetting the track. I don't know if that is allowed, but, well... Maybe he did it not to get beached, I don't know. But
well,
right now...
Interesting to see then, Jared, but from everyone from 1st to 11th being within that DRS train up until a few laps ago, it's now only 1st until 5th that is in that train still.
Yeah, maybe that's what the issue is. Maybe somehow their tyres really overheating, or they're just, as you said, with the new patch, they've just not had time to adjust and they're just making errors. But a guy who's not making errors, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, is the fraud Lewis Curtis, or Little Lewis as it's called. He's currently in 2nd. He's been 2nd most this race, and usually he's the highest one out of any League E races to spin. He's doing a cracking job in 2nd.
He does have a tendency to be the first one to spin, indeed, and he does have a tendency to spin multiple times, but right now, keeping his head cool and just sitting behind Shane. However though, Lickle again under some pressure from Jax now. Going into turn 4, Jax should be a bit too far behind to make any moves here. But Lickle certainly looks like he's struggling a bit right now.
Yeah, which is odd. It can't be the tyres, obviously, because the tyres can last at least a lap 20 at least. There's no way it's the tyres. I think it's just them not getting used to the game with the update, which is throwing them off guard as Zane moves out of the way for the drivers, or as he binned it. Let's have a look.
Oh.
He's binned it. It's a shame for Zane. He's had a bit of bad luck. He's involved in that crash.
Still sticking in there though.
Yeah, he's still sticking in. Still could get points, you know. You could spin so many times and still get points, so...
At this point, I don't think he can get points unless some of the drivers ahead crashes. Ooh. But Jax, though, made the move on Lickle into turn 3 this lap. Now Lickle has the DRS going down to turn 4, but just can't get the traction down there, and...
he's got out traction. He just doesn't feel comfortable with the tyres right now.
Could be.
Somehow he's shredded them already. He's having problems. Is it the Haas car? Is it something?
Oh, at the front. TNR Walking is going to be the first one to pit out of in the leading pack there. As he goes into the pit. Nice pit entry, no speeding, no extending on that white line there, as all these drivers should know that you're not allowed. And on to a set of mediums. Now, 20 laps on mediums, is that possible?
Well, it is a one-stop. Yeah, I think 20 is, to be honest. But as we've seen, some of the drivers are struggling with the hard, so maybe they're going to adopt to the 2, but I think it's a bit silly, to be honest. As well, he's in clean air, got DRS, and he's underway. Will the undercut work?
I guess we'll know in about 30 seconds. As
Lewis has got 100% ERS. What is this? He is the new Matthew Alder with the ERS saving tactic.
It's a bit weird, but I guess maybe he just can't manage to get the traction out of corners before the overtake opportunities. Maybe he's saving it for this time when we're starting to get into the pit window. I don't know. However, look at this though, he's really close to Shane here right now. He's not using that ERS though.
Yeah, I don't think it's wise for him to go for it here. I think he's going to go for it on the next straight, to be honest. I think that's probably the best opportunity, especially if he's pitting.
Well, he needs a good exit here then, and he doesn't really get a good exit either.
Oh, he's not using ERS again.
No. Didn't get a good enough exit. Ended up losing too much out of the corner.
A nice shot there. Shane is in a world of trouble. He's got a Red Bull, AlphaTauri and an Alfa Romeo, but he's got to watch out. The Aston Martin is undercutting them right now. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. Current gap to the leader is 18.9 seconds. And I believe a pit stop round here is in the 19-second window. Oh, it's Tito. Picks up a 3-second penalty. That's going to be crucial. Could cost him a podium or some even points.
Only anyone one in the leading pack with the pen then.
I'm wondering, Sondre, if your fellow Norwegians are actually trying a 2-stop right now. I believe you can make it on those mediums, but the top 4 still not pit.
Oh.
And they're losing time.
Little blocks. Looked like he managed to compose himself a little more towards the end of that stint, but now he's gone in.
Oh, yellows. That's Hershey round. Could that be a safety car?
Nah, he's moving again already.
So no safety car. Volks up. Fast as that. Oh, Lewis had a massive snap there into the hairpin corner. I don't know if he got hit there or anything like that. He just looked like he dropped on traction, and that could have almost cost him on that race there. He's gonna have to pit soon. He's losing a lot of time to Volk. He's currently setting a 6.9, Sondre. These guys are not even anywhere near that time.
Interesting. Let's see
Gaps
what the leaders
18.
does on this lap now then.
Yep, Shane's in.
Shane, he's committing to pitting.
Lewis is in.
Curtis.
The Red Bull though.
Tito. And Ferenc keeps going.
So we have a pit stop battle. Who's going to win in the pit stops? Is Lewis going to bottle it like he did on the formation lap? That's on board with the Alfa Romeo.
Sure, these three drivers got to be careful going out of the pit now, obviously. It's not going to be like it was in the previous games. The tires are going to be a lot more cold.
Oh, Tito's just got stopped on track there for some reason.
And where is TNR Volakongen? He's in turn 1, right on the back of Noah, and Shane comes out right behind.
He's done it.
He's made the undercut work.
But what about Noah here? He still needs to pit, so...
He still needs to pit indeed.
Right now though, Ferenc has to pit this lap.
Oh, Shane with a massive snap there.
Oh, Lewis loses position as well. Oh no, that's a lap car, it isn't the other Tito. But right now though, Ferenc, is he going to be pitting this lap? And the answer is yes, he is. He's coming in the box. Where is he going to come out then for the Red Bull team? Is the Red Bull crew going to do a slick pit stop like they do to Max Verstappen? Or is he going to be behind the train of Lewis, Shane and Tito?
Oh, look at this though. Volakongen has a bit of an advantage here right now. He has Noah in between himself and Shane. Shane obviously not far behind Noah, but if Noah can manage to stay within that DRS gap on this straight, it could create a bit of a gap. But look at that though, Shane out of the first corner, right on the back of Noah. Is Noah gonna defend though? He doesn't use his DRS. I think he's gonna let Shane go there.
Yeah, he's going to let him go. Ferenc then rejoins in 5th, but will be net 4th in the end. Oh, there's an overtake in the background there. MTC making a move on Tito. Tito is actually somehow lost position to Ferenc here, Sondre, and he paid same as Shane and Lewis, so his pit stop actually didn't go to plan.
He could have been held up, could have missed that turning into his box and got a bad pit stop, you know, so...
Right now though, Shane is apparently on a purple lap. Fastest lap currently is a 1:06.9. Let's see what Shane can do then as he's caught along the Aston. Noah coming in the pit lane. And it's a 6.4.
6.4.
A lot quicker, I think. Yeah.
Right now though, right on the back of TNR Volakongen. It's gonna be a simple move, I think. Going into turn 3, he takes the inside line and he brakes later. Can he get the traction down good enough though? Looks like it. It is a good exit from Shane there, and Volakongen is just gonna have to sit behind now.
Well, while that battle was going on, as we did catch it, Lewis is in a bit of trouble right now. Ferenc, who pitted a lap later, is currently on the attack on him and has kept some strong pace. MedTC currently in 5th place. Tito's in 6th right now and he was at 3rd at one point. So he's definitely not having a good day in the office.
But to be fair, when it comes to Lewis and Ferenc now, I don't think the best thing for those two is to battle too much. Though I think the best thing is to just keep the pace up and see if they can get up to Shane and Volakongen again, because obviously, as we saw, Volakongen was able to keep with that train, so these two are probably going to sit and occupy those first 2 positions for now.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's what he's going to actually take advice in there, as he's not really trying anything at the moment, but there is overtakes in the background. Tito re-overtakes MedTT, almost shoves him off the track there. But he gets through and moves back into 5th.
And interesting to see, but Lewis and Ferenc are losing time to the front too. Lewis, who looked very comfortable in the first stint after the first few laps, now not looking too comfortable again, so...
Yeah, Ferenc is looking a lot stronger in the second stage of this race. with the mediums compared to what he was on the hards, but the both top 4 have been separated now to 2 little fights. Shane versus obviously Locken, I believe it is, or however you say his PSN name, as Friends and Lewis fighting for 3rd. And also then you got Tito and Med, so there's a couple of scraps happening. The driver we haven't mentioned a little bit though is Lickle, still in 9th, and also Alex as well. Alex is currently in 8th, and looks like he's going to be finishing that.
Yeah, Alex, also previous F4 driver from last season, and not exactly that high up as Shane and Noah was up all season. He struggled a little bit at the beginning, but got up there in the end. I believe he got 2 wins in a row towards the end of the season as well. So it really showed towards the end that he was there for a reason. And right now, obviously, put up into F3 and well, right in the mid pack right now.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a better start than last season. We obviously was in F4. Pace is a bit lower. The pace is a lot quicker.
I gotta cut you off though. Ferenc now right on the back of Lewis, and with these 2 losing time to the 2 front runners, I think we might see Ferenc deciding to make the move this time. Into turn 3, goes for the inside line. Lewis brakes later, side by side. Ferenc gets the position, surprisingly enough, has the tighter line, but still manages to get the better traction there.
Yeah, Lewis just couldn't do anything. I'm surprised though he didn't fight a bit harder than that. He's got plenty of ERS, but maybe he's using it as a tactical advantage. Letting him go, save a bit more battery, and just let him pull him along, and then go for the attack near the end.
Could be. He could also be losing out on the fights for the win though by doing that, but we'll see. Looks like Ferenc right now is actually gaining on the front 2 runners, so we'll have to wait and see if this decision was smart or not, if it was a decision for that matter.
Yeah, well, that 26 out of 36, the cloudy skies it was at the start have completely gone. We're with sunshine, still a bit of cloud, but no threat of rain in this race at the moment, as the fight for the lead isn't really heating up. Oh, hang on a minute, Lewis very close there.
Getting very close to Ferenc's rear there, obviously.
Oh, Alpine round. Med TC, sorry to cut you off. I just saw him completely do a full 180 there. And, well, he might have got some rear diffuser damage at least. As that sets the new fast lap on hard tyres, actually, 6.4. So maybe the hards are still a good tyre to go on.
Very well could. Obviously, it's at the start of the game. You won't know the most about how everything works right now. So, for all we know, the hards could be a good tire to be on in race. It hasn't necessarily always been before, but new game, new possibilities.
New game indeed. As Alex though looks like he's hunting for P6 here. Could actually be getting P5 actually here, Sondre. We've just missed that. Tito and Mullen got penalties. And Alex doesn't. Obviously Tito's a bit further up ahead, but if I remember correctly, his penalty is only a 3 second. He only has to catch a couple of seconds on him.
That's a good point there, and to be fair, right now Alex looking quick as well. I believe he was not in the DRS of Marion Marlon. I don't know how to say that game tag, man. Numbers in the middle of the world. Yeah. But he's caught up to him though.
Yeah, definitely, Mullen has been in the wars a little bit. Hang on a minute, speaking about wars, is that Med TC again? He's round and no damage to the car. Oh, he's round again. And, well, I think it's time to pit, get some mediums and try and go for that fastest lap. Oh, Lewis is 3 seconds. Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but right now Alex will get 4th if he picks up the pace a tiny bit more.
Well, actually, you say that, and I didn't realize it before I looked at it right now, but yeah, if Alex
Yeah,
can
it's
pick up
Marlon.
that pace, if he can... What?
The Merc Noah said it's Marlon.
Alright, it's Marlon. Well, in that case, if Alex can pick up the pace a tiny bit more past Marlon, and then manage to try and catch a little bit of time on the two drivers of Tito and Lewis ahead, could be looking at a P4 here.
Yeah, could happen, but right now on board Lewis's teammate, Benza, currently under threat from the McLaren. It's not for the lonely 11th position, but these two are scrapping it. We also got Alex again with Marlon starting to heat up as well up the road. And when I mean heat on, it's really getting heated on here, as he's really close to the back end. 7.6 his current lap is.
Sticking behind into turn 1, needs a good run in turn 1. He'll have the chance into turn 3 then, but look at that though, Marlon gets a good run.
Alex
This is a long straight, and Alex using a little bit of battery now gets down the inside into turn 3, outbreaks Marlon.
Whoa!
Gets up into 6, but look at this though, Marlon, not a bad exit there. Now Marlon has DRS. Alex not gonna defend, and Marlon's deciding to sit back there.
Yeah, he didn't use his DRS there when he got the second one, but Alex though, through turn 2, came in like a torpedo. I thought he was gonna go straight on the amount of speed he was coming through there, but kept it under control. Moves into 6th. Now his next objective is to catch Tito. Gap 7.3 seconds, on lap 29. Starting lap number 30 right now with Shane.
Well, technically, he's not gonna have to gap those 7 seconds. He's gonna have to gap about 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
And 6 seconds if he wants to get loose as well. So, top 4 position could be within range for Lewis here.
Oh, we've got a fellow Norwegian.
Marlon gets back on Alex. Takes back that P6.
He does. Maybe he wanted to have a go at him on the next lap instead of fight on the same lap and lose time, but interesting. It's not going to help Alex, but Alex doesn't have to really fight this. He's going to get a position regardless.
He's going to get that P6 as long as he just stays within the track limits at this point, yeah.
Now look, we're going to go on board with the fraud, Mr. Curtis. Currently line up in 4th, under threat now by the Haas, but the Red Bull there made an error in the final corner. Is Curtis starting to make him a bit uneasy on the exit corners right now? And the top two just running away.
ERS here going on to the long straight, heading up into turn 3, and he's going to go for it here. He's
Jesus
using
Christ.
the battery. Look at this overspin, man.
Just completely demolishes him down the straight.
Easy move into turn 3. Now, we have seen it a couple of times already though. Lewis not getting the best of exits out of turn 3. He doesn't get that again. He's going to have to go defensive. It looks like Ferenc is going to stick it behind for this lap at least.
We're finally getting a bit of action here, but Lewis is just trying to damage limitation right now. He needed to get past him. He needs to now pull away. As we said, he is under threat by Alex, but isn't really that much now, but anything can happen. He could make a mistake, could get another penalty. He needs to pull away.
Indeed. That one thing.
Oh, no, scratch that. He's binned it. There it is. Bottle, Mr. Curtis the fraud. He's done it again.
Bottle.
In 5th. That's going to be annoying from him, but the game auto resetting that at the pit, so got a bit lucky.
We've mentioned it a few times that he's
got to cut you off. Tito making a move possibly into the hairpin. He's going to go for it. Oh, he looked like he was going to go for it there, but he in the end just decided to wait behind him. Very interesting tactic. But as you were saying, Sandra, before I had to cut you off there.
Well, as I was going to say, we have mentioned it a few times. Lewis very prone to spinning, very prone to bottling in general, and it did take 30 plus laps before it happened this time, but once again he lived up to his name of being a bottle though. So unfortunate for him, but still fifth. Maybe he can still get fifth if he manages to stretch out the gap to Alex there.
Yeah. He ain't got that many laps to do it, obviously, so he's going to have to get a move on. As we've just started lap number 33, and just a comment about Noah saying he reset. The game auto reset him the way he came in that angle. He didn't reset. There's no way he was that quick pausing it and resetting it. I think the game auto reset him. So, shit in that.
Could be. However, though, the front runners right now, Jared. Shane has put the pressure on, he's upped the pace, he's managed to drop TNR Wallakongen, and he's looking solid now as Wallakongen has used up all of his ERS to try and stick with him. But I think now, unless Shane has a spin or something similar to that, it's looking like he's got at least one hand on that first place right now.
Definitely. Shane is doing an amazing job. You know, F4 won a couple of races, was a contender for the title. Unfortunately, I believe he lost it to, was it Nando? Was it he lost it to in the F4 division?
It was Nando in the end, I believe, who won the title, yeah.
And he's come up to the big boy division, and he's, you know, I'm sorry to say it, kind of slapping some of the F3 drivers right now in first. As simple as that. He's been dominant all race, and now some of the F3 drivers are going to be scratching their head and maybe looking forward for, I believe it's Miami next, to see what they can do against Shane.
Indeed, as we can see that Shane is stretching that gap, and Alex has
Excellent
passed
move.
Marlon again.
Oh, but Marlon is on him.
Marlon with a bit of bad exit, but he will get Alex back out, and this is good for Lewis, who currently needs to stretch that gap down to Alex, and now he's getting a little bit of help from that Merc driver.
Yeah, he's definitely getting help there, but it's still not enough. The gap's 2.3 right now. He needs it to what, 3 seconds? 3.1.
3 seconds, yeah.
So right now, Lewis, I don't know. I think with that spin, it's probably going to take a bit of a tyre out. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to do it within the next lap. But I've been proven wrong before.
It's about 2.5 seconds between him and Alex now. He needs to find 5/10 in these last 2 laps.
Jesus, Shane, 2.1.
Keeps fighting. Yeah, could maybe. As Jax makes the move on Lickle blocks on the straight. But
Lickle, very late on the brakes there. Has to be careful in his braking, because you don't want to hit him too hard, damage your front wing and spin him, because you'll get a penalty. Don't want to do that.
It's not the driver's fault there, it's the car, man. Brake failure.
Well, it could be a brake failure. But Alex, 2 seconds. It's 2.2, Sondre. I think Alex has got this in the bag.
Alex will be able to get that 5th place right now.
Oh, Tito moves to 3rd, so he's overtaken. It's basically no point
he's going to
overtaking.
get overtaken right back right now by Ferenz on the straight going up into turn 3.
Right now, though, we're going to go on board with Shane.
Shane who's really put the pressure on
He's
the
put
last
second,
few laps, stretched
honestly.
that gap to
He's second
3.2 now.
As Halvor is saying Sondre in the chat, so he's screaming for you. Where's my support, Halvor? Ah, there you go. Thank you, Halvor. But right now, then,
to be Norwegian.
he knows I'm quite Norwegian. But Shane, then, the man who's been on it from the F4 division before, but now in the F3 division. He's won an F4 race. I don't believe he's won an F3 race before, but he is today. He's winning the F3 race at Austria. Takes the win with Volakon in 2nd. Ferenc then will be taking P3 in the Red Bull. Tito finishing in 4th then, but will Lewis hold 5th? It's going to be close.
It's going to be close for 5th, man.
I don't think he's got it. Oh, he has got it. Lewis takes 5th. Alex Wow! Under 300th of a second there in 6th. Marlon moves to 7th. Edward jumps to 8th then, so not a bad day in the office. Noah moves to 9th, so he does get points from McLaren. Jax takes 10th for Williams, so double Williams finish. And I think the only team to score double points for their team. Benza in 11th. Hershey in 12th with Edson. Ran on the grid in 13th. Not a bad race then with 19. Some exciting parts there, but Shane takes the victory at Austria.
Indeed. Alex, driver of the day according to the game there as well.
I've got to give it him. I think he was near the back as well.
The previous F4 driver stealing the show here.
Well then, Shane tastes victory in F4. He tastes victory again in F3. Leads the championship early. Round number 1. Will he be able to keep this momentum going to the end of the season and try and win a championship? Only time will tell. But right now then, Shane going to be really happy with first. But the Norwegian of... Who's Norwegian again? Volokon again? Second?
TNR Volokon, yeah.
In second. The Ferenc in third. So not a bad day for the top 3.
Not a bad day indeed.
To be honest, I would actually shout between Jax and Alex for driver day as well. Alex 13th, Jax to 18th.
I would mention my fellow Norwegian as well. Didn't start higher up than 7th.
Yeah, there was
also with a good drive from 9th there.
Well, there's a lot of good drives. You didn't have to start near the front to get a good result. But then here are your results then. So Shane takes the victory with Lacken in second, Ferenc in third, Tito fourth, Lewis in fifth. Disappointing, could have won the race, but bottled it. Alex in sixth, Marlon in seventh, Lickle disappointing in eighth, but scores Haas only points. Noah in ninth, not a bad drive since he was in F4 last season. Jax in 10th, Benza in 11th, Hershey in 12th, and Etes in 13th, with Zane in 14th. But everybody else, Med, Dustin, Toxic Smart, Mali, and Marco, all DNF from today's race. Well, Bottle.
83S steals fastest lap there as well. Didn't notice when he did it. So no points for fastest lap this round.
Matthew Order coming in the chat. Curtis Big Fraud. I completely agree with you. Well, have you got anything to say? Bottle, any exciting moments for that race for you today?
Exciting moments. Oh, how can I stay away from from seeing the big bottler himself, Lewis Curtis, spinning it into the pit as he was sitting in third at that point, I believe, wasn't he?
Yes, it's second or third. It was second, I believe, at one point. I think it was second actually.
Honestly, another moment for me as as a Norwegian. Gotta point out the strategy from TNR Volakongen as well. Pitted a bit early, but paid off though. He was 4th or 5th in that train before the pit stop, I believe, and did undercut. It worked. Didn't get the win, but did move up into second. What about you?
I've got to agree. Lewis obviously best moment of the race, just bottling it as usual. But I've got to give it credit from Alex. I think he's done a terrific job starting from where he was, 13th. And getting some decent points. But I'm going to say the disappointment of a team altogether is McLaren. They were, 3rd and 4th in quali and scored, I believe, 2 points in the end of the race. It's not really what you want, especially when you're 3rd and 4th, possibly contending for 4th drivers being on the podium.
Well, I do agree with you there. I am, to be fair, the two drivers themselves probably agrees with us on that as well. They probably hoped for way more than what they ended up with, but still only the first race of the season though. Still plenty of chances left to score points, get podiums, get wins.
He's right indeed. And the next round is for the PSGL, for F3 division, is Miami, the new track of this the new game, Miami. It's going to be a very difficult challenge for the drivers, I think. Maybe might see some crashes in Sector 2. But until then, I have been your commentator, Aaron Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. I've been joined in the booth by the OAP himself, Mr. Sondre Sohaug, as he's been very chuffed with his fellow Norwegian getting a podium on his first round. But, we'll see you guys for the next one. We'll see you guys for the next one. Goodbye for now.